it was interesting. So my first year in college, I actually got recruited for the 400.
Yeah.
The great thing about what I could do was that I had pretty good range. So I ran a 10.500. I ran a 21.3 in high school, and then I ran 47 in the 400. So I could run all three. And that was very attractive to the coach at TCU. Hint for all the people that are trying to get into major universities. If you specialize in one thing, it's good. If you have good range and you can run multiple races, even better in college.
I love that in college, yeah.
Yep, they sure do. So that was a big thing for me. And I mainly was focusing on the 400. Now, when I was there, I actually ran some hundreds, some 200s and 400s while I was, in college. I was doing a lot of workouts where I was getting to practice. Some days I would be with the quarter miler workouts, and some days I'd be with the sprinters. So it would be, and quarter milers are sprinters, but they just have there's different training regimens.
Yeah.
And you don't really want to be in the quarter miler workouts if you're a sprinter. But they're necessary, right? They're necessary, especially in the fall when you're doing like your bulk training, you're getting your resistance, you're, building up that lactic acid threshold. You definitely got to do those things. Sprinters can't shy away from 400s and long workouts. You just got to do them. So I was doing a lot of both when I first got to TCU, but I was mainly running the 400. So my freshman year, I'd run 10.2 or 10.3. I'd improved a lot just from, that one training semester at college. And then I don't think I run really, really fast in the 200. I still haven't run really fast in the 200. However, I was doing all three. And when I got to my sophomore year, it's my second year in college, my coach, I had qualified for all three events in the regionals. So I qualified for the 100, the 200, and the 400. But we already had a couple 400-meter runners. My coach asked me at that point, did I want to do the 400 or did I want to do the 1 and 2 that year? So I decided I was going to do the 1 and 2. And ever since then, my foot speed, the great thing about being a quarter miler back when I was running quarter miles was that I had great foot speed. So I could, be able to get around the track a little bit quicker or run the first half of the 400 a little bit quicker and still be able to maintain that pace and that rhythm through the 400. So the foot speed was great. And honestly, I just transitioned that into running more shorter sprints. I'd run good 100 and 200. At that time, I was qualified for regionals, and I just decided to stick to that. I ran 10.18 my sophomore year, and I ran a pretty good, decent 200 time, actually qualified for nationals. And so that was kind of how I transitioned. I think I had always been able to run those races. However, I just wasn't focused on them. But once I got focused on actually sprinting and doing more sprinter workouts, that kind of took over as far as what I was capable of doing. Because even in high school, I was doing a lot more quarter mile workouts, but I think I had the ability to be able to drop down. And so when I started to focus on that in practice and in my events and running, it just made a lot of sense to just go down and do those events because I got faster.